At the end of the 1960s, the hard-fought struggle for racial equality was overshadowed in the public eye by the Vietnam War. American involvement in the war had escalated. Young African-American men served in combat in disproportionately high numbers compared to the rest of the population.
I couldn't go to college because my family couldn't afford it. So the only thing left was to go into the service, Private Reginald Edwards.
I got drafted in 1966. I basically had a gung-ho attitude about being a soldier. Specialist Haywood Kirkland.
I didn't ask no questions about the war. I mean, the only way I could possibly make it out of the ghetto was to be the best soldier I possibly could. Specialist Arthur Woodley.
Declaring in 1967, "My conscience leaves me no other choice," Martin Luther King Jr. decided to take a stand against the war.
A time comes when silence is betrayal. That time has come for us in relation to Vietnam. Even when pressed by the demands of inner truth, men do not easily assume the task of opposing their government's policy, especially in time of war. That is, at the outset, a very obvious and almost facile connection between the war in Vietnam and the struggle I and others have been waging in America. So I was increasingly compelled to see the war as an enemy of the poor. We were taking the black young men who had been crippled by our society and sending them 8,000 miles away to guarantee liberties in Southeast Asia, which they had not found in Southwest Georgia and East Holland.
When I came to Vietnam, I thought we were helping another country to develop a nation. Harold Bryant.
I thought communism was spreading, and as an American citizen, it was my part to do as much as I could to defeat the communists. Specialist Arthur Woodley.
Somehow this madness must cease.
You feel like your life is threatened, so you open fire on anything and everything that moves. See, that's how we were trained. Specialist Arthur Woodley.
I thought about all the people getting killed and maimed, and kept saying, why? Lieutenant Commander William Norman.
A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. Every nation must now develop an overriding loyalty to mankind as a whole. If we will make the right choice, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our world into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
The response to the speech was immediate and largely negative, but King continued to attack the war on moral and economic grounds. Tragically, Dr. King was assassinated a year to the day after the speech. When the U.S. finally withdrew from Vietnam in April of 1975, there was widespread belief that the war had not been worth the cost. Today, we honor the men who served in Vietnam, but the questions Dr. King raised about the spiritual and financial cost of waging wars of choice are just as relevant today. On August 28, 2011, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial was dedicated. It honors his legacy and willingness to take a stand for civil rights and human rights, even when the stand was as unpopular as his 1967 speech, Beyond Vietnam.